AC 25 in Flint. This is Mid-Michigan Now.
Absolutely no excuse for what someone did to this guy. And for my dad to possibly lay there in the grass, maybe take his last breath suffering.
That is a family desperate for answers tonight about who hit and killed Thomas Benjamin Carrol-Taylor. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Woolfolk.
And I'm Stella Daskalakis. Carrol-Taylor was found dead a week ago in a grassy area on Ballenger Highway between Vanslyke Rd and the I-69 overpass.
Mid-Michigan Now's Courtney Bennett is here with more. And Courtney, you've spoken with this family. What's their message tonight?
They want to know who could have done this to the man everyone knew as Benny. Police say he had been walking on the side of the road when someone hit him and drove off.
I avoid all the way. So him not being able to meet the baby on the way is terrible.
He was a father to 5 children. His family says Benny was always there for everyone. He also had a crazy side to him.
He was fun. He was always entertaining.
Did a lot of fun things together, snowmobiling.
The guy was many hobbies. He didn't dislike anything.
According to police, Benny was found face down in the grassy area off Ballenger Highway in Flint Township around 7:45 last Wednesday morning.
I just think about, like, who could ever do this to a human being? You hit somebody and you just left him there to die. And he did die. He died by himself on the side of the road.
Benny's daughter Jade is the one who was notified first when an officer showed up at her door.
I wasn't expecting him. I wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready. He didn't deserve this. I was just shocked.
1 week later, and she's still shocked at how this could have happened. She, her siblings, and their mother have banded together.
We have all leaned on each other and just stuck together.
With him not being here during all of it, that's our missing piece.
That missing piece, the family man who was there for his kids and grandkids.
Love you, Pops. Love you, Pascal.
We miss you.
I miss you.
The family is asking anyone with information to come forward and let police know. You can also submit tips anonymously by calling Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-5245. If you were in the Ballenger Highway I-69 area last Tuesday night to early Wednesday morning and think you saw Thomas Benjamin Carrol-Taylor, you could help this family get the answers they are desperately seeking. For now, live in the studio, Courtney Bennett, Mid-Michigan Now.
Thank you, Courtney. In other developing news, Flint Township police need your help to find a wanted man. Crime Stoppers says 49-year-old Hussein Carter faces homicide and several gun charges tied to a deadly shooting at Clove Tree Apartments on June 23rd. A cash reward of up to $1,000 is being offered for information leading to an arrest. Call the number on your screen if you have any information.
Also developing tonight, a man will spend 20 to 40 years in prison for several sex crimes, including criminal sexual conduct. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson says John Cole, who you see here, claimed to be a community activist and groomed a teenage guest on his podcast. The Global Human Oppression Strike Team, known as GHOST, arrested Cole back in July. He pleaded no contest to the charges. Swanson says the sentencing is a win, but the work does not stop.
But this is a reality of what we see here at GHOST. It's what we see across the county, across the state, and the nation, that there may be more victims out there.
Swanson urges all victims to come forward so those responsible can be held accountable.
We have a health alert tonight. Genesee County has its first case of chronic wasting disease. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources says a 2.5-year-old doe in Gaines Township tested positive. The DNR says the deer was very skinny and drinking lots of water. The agency urges you to report deer that appear lethargic, disoriented, lame, or unresponsive. Here are some tips to help keep yourself safe. Wear rubber gloves and wash hands thoroughly when handling a deer carcass, and try to avoid touching the brain and spinal tissues. Put the carcass in the trash after it has been dressed. The DNR emphasizes do not eat infected animals.
New developments in Saginaw to report. The city council there has a new member, Tobias Young, sworn in earlier this week to succeed former councilwoman Monique Lamar Sylvia, who was recently sentenced on election forgery charges. Young is a 26-year General Motors employee. He's also a journeyman electrician, landlord, and has served as setup chair for the Saginaw African Cultural Festival. He will serve on city council until November of next year. As the state budget deadline draws closer, educators across the state continue to push lawmakers to get the job done. This rally you see here was held outside Lansing City Hall today. The Michigan Education Association says $2.1 billion is at risk if lawmakers at the state capitol miss the budget deadline. The MEA worries about potential cuts to vital programs and a cash flow crisis. Terrence Martin with Michigan's American Federation of Teachers Union says there is a lot at risk if schools' financial needs aren't met.
We're talking about communities that are already underserved and students who really depend on and families who depend on the resources that the schools provide and the districts provide, particularly in the food service program.
Martin says Michigan is among the lowest ranked states for education spending. Lawmakers have until Tuesday to finalize the budget or the government will shut down.
The Flint community is coming together, even on this cloudy day, to support people who are going through or recovering from addiction. This is a live look at Serenity House Community's recovery walk and rally at Memorial Park on Church Street. It is a place for people to share their recovery stories and raise awareness about the need for support. The event continues tonight until 7 p.m. A faith-based nonprofit is celebrating a major milestone. Little Books of the Diocese of Saginaw sells booklets filled with scripture. The money raised goes to support various programs within the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw. As Mid-MichiganNow's Kyle Macon reports, Little Books is continuing the legacy of a man who started it all 25 years ago.
If we could do this for another 25 years, we would just be thrilled, and I think Bishop Ken would be thrilled too.
A quarter of a century has passed, and Little Books continues its mission of trying to make prayer easier. Stacy Trapani, executive director of Little Books, says the organization was started in 2000 by former Bishop Ken Untner.
He started it because he wanted to find a way for people to engage more deeply in their prayer life during the liturgical season of Lent.
Bishop Ken would take that idea and wrote books for Easter, Lent, and Christmas. The booklets have messages and themes important to the church.
Well, let's say it's the Gospel of John, and let's say we're talking about Lent, so it's the Passion narrative. And he would break it down into little pieces and give reflections about each of those little pieces.
When the organization first started, they sent these booklets to churches under the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw. Now, the operation has grown.
Before you know it, book sales were happening all over the United States, and now we sell internationally in Europe, and Australia, and Canada. So it's been a big hit.
The money raised from the books goes right back to the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw. It uses those funds to support many of its programs, like helping people become priests, supporting schools, and helping feed those in need.
We earmark them for education and evangelization, what we would call evangelization, helping people understand their faith and helping bring people back to their faith.
Little Books is looking to continue that legacy for another 25 years. If you'd like to get your hand on a Little Book, they just released their Advent and Christmas season. Reporting in Saginaw, Kyle Macon, Mid-MichiganNow.